Okay, you should be able to hear me, and we will continue to paint up these. These are constructs. So this is part 3. So in the first part, you saw me do the washes. I had the flat coats on there. The second part, I did all these grays. So I went back and did that on this one here. So all the gray, and also on this lamp post, or this light post, whatever that thing is. And then this piece of rebar metal. Okay, so now what I'm going to concentrate on are some of the colored parts, like the door and the rusty. So I have been using a lot of airbrush lately. I got into airbrushing again and started bringing into my miniature painting, and what I realized is these airbrush paints from Vallejo are really good for painting with, because they're kind of already thin, and then at the same time they're very concentrated. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to use the original base coat that I used for the door, and I'm just going to go in and start adding those flat colors. Now again, you want that cartoonish feel to it. I'm not fading, excuse me, I'm not fading a bunch of colors. One of the things that's helped me with painting this style is you want to create contrast so that when you're holding this thing, 3 feet away from you, you can still see. It just has a good read to it. Some of the miniatures that I painted, they look good when you're close up, but then when you zoom out, they just look flat. Okay, and then sometimes you got to go back and just do another thin layer on what you just did, so that again it has that nice flat look to it and it pops. What I think I like too also about doing these comic book miniatures is that those bright colors. You're going for Thor red cape and bright yellows and things like that, and it just looks great on the table. So I'm gonna move this camera over here a little bit so I can rest my hand. And again, using that edge of the brush. So you can see how I've lifted that now. It's not dingy anymore. It's got that nice bright look to it. And then what I would do is I'd grab some gray, like a light gray, and then mix it with that original blue to create a highlight. little too bright, so you just add a little more of that original base color blue. So again, I'm not going to show you every single thing because it just would be a long video, and I want to keep these short. I'm just giving you enough that you can at least learn the basic technique on certain parts of it, but then you would apply it to the whole miniature. And then again, I like doing a little, you know, these little kind of blobs on there. It just, again, makes it feel cartoonish. That light over here. Okay, so you're seeing that's kind of something what I'd go with. Come in here and get that little rear view mirror. All right. Now, say the inside of the door. I don't want it to be the same gray as that silver or metallic gray. So I have a black gray from Vallejo. So it's basically like a charcoal gray. And one of the funny things is I bought it thinking I just bought a tube of black, and came home and realized I had bought this color, and I actually use it quite a bit. So it was a happy accident. So what I'm doing is I'm just coming in here and again adding a little bit of depth. Yeah, just a little bit. That's good. So again, I don't want it to be the same gray as this, but I want to give it a little bit of life to it, so I just add some pops here and there. And this piece is getting close. I just want to show you the, actually, you know what? Let me use some of this. Right. And blacken out these broken lights. And then what I'll probably do later is just hit this with a little bit of a black wash once that dries. Okay. Looking pretty good. All right, next thing is this rusty brown beam. Okay, so what you're doing is you have that flat coat that you put on it, and then you did the wash. So what I tend to do is just go back in with the original flat color. So in this case, it's that maroon, that kind of rusty maroon, because then you're just gonna bring back some of that original color, but you're doing it in a splotchy way. Again, very cartoonish, very erratic. When all this comes together is when I'll do the black inking on the next video. So I'm just showing you how I lift the colors back out again because they got, you know, grimied or washed down. And you want to bring some of that original color back. Okay, so now that's raised that color up again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some kind of a rusty, I'm shaking the paint here, like a rusty orange color, and I'm going to mix that in as my highlight with some of the base coat. And again, I only do maybe, you know, 2 tones. Make sure it's focused. You can see how I'm manipulating the model to just keep it erratic. Now you can see how I use this technique on the construction site build that I had done. That was about a 12-part shorts series. So if you look in the shorts section of my channel, you'll see that whole series. And when I did the main frame of the construction site, I use this technique. These big bolts. Got a really shaky hand right now. I apologize. Put little nicks in there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm liking this. Let me zoom that in, make sure you can see it. And then if you really want to, you know, you can add a little bit more of that orange in there. You know, if you want to add some really bright spots just here and there, you can. Again, you know, hold your hold your arm out with the miniature in it and look at it. And if it just turns into a blob, you should really think about adding some bright spots here and there to make it, again, read from 2-3 feet away on the table. See, now it's looking like a rusty beam. Okay, and then I don't know what this is. This is like a barrel or something. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of that gray, that charcoal gray, and bring a little bit of life back into that. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's okay. And then also down in here, you see that sewer grate? Down in here, I'm gonna grab some of this orange, this rusty orange, and pop up these. Cleaning this up. There you go. I don't know what this is either. It looks like a blob of mud or something like that. Okay. So far these are looking pretty good. I'm real happy with them. Now it hasn't hit that official comic book look yet until we get the black in there. And that is going to be on the next video. So again, this is just showing you the next phase. I'm going to go around and probably noodle these a little bit more. One of the things that would help as well, actually had a guy just last night ask about how to brighten yellow. And I'm going to show you that really fast. So I had done white with a I had done white with this yellow contrast paint, and then I put that wash on it, Cassinder's yellow. So now what you can do is, if you want to do a highlight, you can just grab some white, put a bright highlight on it, okay, let me come over here. Because again, we're going for that pop. Okay, and let me hit this with a hairdryer really quick. So I'm going to mute my mic so you're not hearing a hairdryer. All right, you should be able to hear me. And then I'm going to take some of that Cassinder's yellow, and I hope this works. I think this will work. You take some of that, and then you go over that white. Yeah, this is working. See, so if you want a nice punchy yellow highlight, you put white down first. You see? And now you put that yellow on top. and you get a nice yellow highlight. It's almost like a little bit of a wash on the white. Yeah, that's good. Cool. So I'm going to go around on these 3 pieces and anywhere else that I need little highlights here and there. I'm going to do that. And then the next video, I'm going to do the black inking to really push the comic book look to it. So thanks for tuning in again. This is part 3. If you missed the first 2 parts, check those out. And until next time, keep painting, keep gaming.